This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
A state approves a tax increase on its highest earners. Angela Miles reports in today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, traders will be paying close attention to comments coming from Fed Chair Janet Yellen. She will testify on the Hill Wednesday and Thursday this week. Her mid-year remarks could include the Fed's view on fighting inflation and financial assets and clues about the next rate hike. A tax hike on the rich in Seattle is getting plenty of play in social media. Lawmakers approved a new tax on the highest earners to cover possible tax cuts proposed by President Trump. The tax is likely to face a legal battle from here. New products are improving sales at PepsiCo, along with higher prices. Life Water and Lay's Poppables puffed up the company's profit outlook for the year. Revenue rose about 2% to $15.7 billion. And Twitter has a new CFO. Ned Siegel will run the company's finances. He comes from Intuit. Jack Dorsey continues on as CEO. Anthony Noto will serve as COO.
Thanks, Angela. 51-year-old Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise has been transferred out of ICU at the MedStar Washington Hospital, but remains in serious condition. Scalise was critically injured last month during a mass shooting at a congressional baseball practice. Scalise, who was shot in the hip, which resulted in broken bones, damage to vital organs and tissue, has spent the past week in the intensive care unit and has underwent several surgeries, including for the management of the infection. The shooting, which took place on a baseball field on June 14th, involved a 66-year-old lone gunman who was upset about President Donald Trump. The shooter died in return gunfire from security officers after he opened fire at a practice field in Alexandria, Virginia. He shot Mr. Scalise and injured 3 other people, 2 of them members of Mr. Scalise's security detail. Scalise was the most injured of the 4 victims. The Board of County Commissioners discussed a grant for emergency services at their last meeting.
Item number 11 for possible action, approval to accept fiscal year 2018 State of Nevada Emergency Response Commission's Operations Planning, Training, and Equipment Grant in the amount of $27,680. The Nye County Department of Emergency Management will assist in the Nye County Local Emergency Planning Committee in managing this grant. This grant shall be administered out of the Fund 10340 grants, and there is no county match required.
Make a motion to approve consent.
Second. Second and a third, great. So further discussion? Anybody? All right, going once, twice, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Dr. Tom Waters is the chairman of the new Veterans Finance Committee. They have met a couple times to discuss funds allocated to veterans groups here in Nye County.
The Veterans Finance Committee is a new committee that we're still creating. Mm-hmm. What we want to do is have one voice that speaks for the veteran organizations in town and in the county.
So we spoke to County Commissioner Butch Boraski, who was a little upset about the money that was slotted for veterans and organizations throughout the town being rolled over into the general fund. Will this alleviate that problem?
No, it's the same situation. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to make sure there was a veteran fund. Yeah. And what we want to do is to be able to get together to come up with ideas on how to use the funds and speak with one voice on that. We wanted to make sure that the commissioners had it in writing that the fund was going to be put together, and that's exactly what the resolution did. It created the fund for that. And Butch's concern was that the money should not go into the general fund. They should make sure there's enough money for the veterans all the time. So I understand where he's coming from, but I just wanted something in writing saying that we had the fund.
And then how has the meetings been going so far? What's going on with them?
The meetings so far are pretty well represented. We have had representatives from each of the large organizations. We're still looking for them to say, yes, we want you to represent us. And right now, that's exactly what we're looking for. If we can get them to say, yes, you represent us with the commission, then we can take their ideas, go to the commissioners and say, this is our priority 1, 2, 3, 4 for the money that they put out for us each year.
What's the mission of the group?
The mission of the group is to speak with one voice for veterans.
So organizations throughout town can get in touch with you, veteran-related, and try to, get some representation there?
That's correct. We're inviting everybody because we want all the ideas to come out. And what we're doing at this point, they selected me as the chair, and that'll be for 1 year. And we have one young lady, she's our recorder, and then we have all the other organizations that are represented. And what we do is we look for ideas on what to present and how to present them to the commission. And then the commissioners would go ahead and fund the different ideas for us. Right now, they've set aside about $65,000 a year, and the veterans have only used about $20,000. And so the rest of it goes to the general fund. And that's one of the things that Commissioner Boraski was talking about. If that money was left in the fund, then the veterans would have more, say, in the next year, if they didn't use the funds. But right now, everything goes back to the general fund if we don't use it, and the veterans have not been using it.
We'll have an air conditioning tip and a tech tip right after this.